If you can hear me, yes, if you can hear me clearly, kindly drop me a number one on the chat box as we begin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time to join this session tonight. My name is Mercy and I'm going to be the host for tonight's session. We're going to be discussing a very important topic tonight. So in any case you're up and about, I'd recommend you just settle down so that you can get maximum value from this session. So I'd wish to share my screen so that we can get started. Yes. So just a minute, sharing the screen of my phone. I hope you can get to see. So let me just switch to the slides. Yes, so that we can get started. Yes, I hope my audio is also very clear. Yes, so let's get started. So the topic for tonight will be in regards to maintaining general wellness. And
Mercy, you're muted. Please start again. You're muted, Mercy.
apologies about that. I hope you can now hear me. Let me just continue on. I'll actually just get to start. Yes, apologies for that. Okay. So the topic tonight is in regards to maintaining general wellness. And as I was sharing earlier, this is a very critical topic, especially because of the current chemical age we are living in. And because most of us who've joined this session, I'm sure we are all keen to ensure that we are maintaining on general wellness to ensure that our health is top tier. So just to share a few definitions that will help us to understand more as we continue. Wellness refers to the state of being in good health, especially if it's an active pursued goal that is in regards to putting in the daily work to ensure that wellness equals sawa, like you're working out, you're taking a lot of water, you're having a balance of fruits and vegetables, and also supplementing amongst many others. And then when we talk of health, according to the World Health Organization, it's the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, amongst other factors that I'll be sharing on as we continue. Yes, Mr. Emmanuel, you can hear me?
Kindly tilt your screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, so health, according to the World Health Organization, is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not necessarily the absence of a disease. Yeah. So when we talk of the cycle of health, there are different factors which get to contribute to this. This include physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, environmental, amongst many others that I'll get to share. And as you can see in the circle drawn there, there are actually different things that we can, practice to ensure that we have a balanced cycle of health. This includes moving the body, being keen on our surroundings to ensure that they promote general health and well-being, also being keen on personal development. This is where, for example, you can consider reading books or just doing something to ensure that your mind is developing. Also being keen on the kind of foods and drinks that we get to consume to ensure that, of course, they are contributing to us having general wellness. Also taking time to recharge, resting and also unwinding to ensure that even as we continue on with tasks that can come about, we get to show up as the best versions of ourselves. Also, there is social well-being, whereby you can get to connect with family members, friends, co-workers, catching up and just being able to blow off steam, yeah? Spirit and soul, this is more on the spiritual aspect to grow and connect, and then definitely the power of the mind, where you get to relax, to be able to rejuvenate yourself, and also in the process get to heal. So, what are the importances of good health? Definitely different factors. First and foremost, aging gracefully, living till a ripe old age as well. It becomes easy to avoid lifestyle-related diseases that at times come with age, as well as poor lifestyle habits. You can definitely guess that ukikuwa mtu mwenye you're keen on maintaining your general wellness, some issues will not come about as you continue on. Also, looking better and feeling better about yourself, yeah? You're the number one investment, yeah? Or rather, you're the main investment in yourself. So when you get to ensure that you're doing each and everything to ensure that you're healthy, kosawa, that's a plus, not only for you, but also your family, and also having more productive years ahead, yeah? So as we continue on, I just want you to give yourself a score on a scale of 0 to 10. How healthy are you really? Yeah, when you talk of maybe digestive health, how can you rate yourself? How can you rate yourself when it comes to your skin health? How about your kids? How healthy can you rate them? Possibly, could you be having weight management problems? Maybe you'd want to lose, or maybe you'd want to gain. Could you be having blood pressure and blood sugar issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, and the likes? Fertility and vitality, joint health. How can you rate yourself? Can you say there are different things you're working on a daily basis to ensure that your health is iko kule juu kabisa kabisa? Yeah. And it's always important to rate yourself, because when you rate yourself, you're able to know what to get to improve on. You're able to identify your strengths and those areas where kidogo hauko sawa. And yes, we've been able to talk on different aspects when it comes to health, but for now I'll be able to focus more on the physical aspect for this session. So let's talk of the major causes of health problems. There are very many issues, of course, that contribute to health issues. Pollution, when we talk of air pollution, the quality of the air we breathe in kidogo iko compromised, especially if you're in an urban setting where there's a lot of smoke and fumes we are exposed to. We are talking of water pollution. Sometimes the sources of the water we take is not 100% hygienic. Sometimes even the foods that we take, the soil on which it grows on, there is the pollution that the soil is exposed to. Then we talk of prescription drugs, especially if one has used for a long period of time. Of course, drugs or madawa, they are chemical based, and chemicals over a period of time can have an effect on general wellness. When we talk of fatty foods, eating a lot of junk foods, processed foods, this can contribute to lifestyle related conditions such as obesity, which can definitely contribute to the health problems we are experiencing. Then we talk of stress because of maybe life's demands, yeah? Maybe it's work related, maybe it's personal issues, maybe it's family issues. All this, of course, definitely contributes to stress, but most importantly, also how one copes with the stress can either lead to more health problems or less. Yeah. And I'm saying this because of the aspect of smoking and alcohol. There are those who indulge in excessive drinking, excessive smoking to be able to get rid of stress, but now in the process sasa mashida za health zinapata kuwa zaidi. Yeah. Okay, so just a continuation of some of the problems that we might be experiencing. There's farming methods whereby you find in our farms there is the use of artificial chemicals in the planting of crops, herbicides, pesticides, insecticides. And I'm sure the farmers who get to use this one way or another may not have ill intention, but unfortunately, all those chemicals have an effect on our well-being as people because we definitely get to use what you get from the farms. Then there's the introduction of GMO foods into the Kenyan market. This is not a new thing. Imekuwa tangu kitambo kidogo. And then there's the storage of food. You find that if you store foods in extreme temperatures, such as very low temperatures, some nutrients cannot survive very low temperatures. And so in the process, you find that ukikula hiyo chakula, you're not getting optimal nutrients from the foods that you're consuming. Then, of course, there is the infestation of food by rodents or insects. Yeah, you've stored food somewhere, and then when you come back a few days later, unapata that kuna wageni wamekuja, and mostly you find for these insects in particular, they go for that bit that has the highest nutritional value, be it maize or whatever else you're storing. So you may find that even when you prepare that food, pretty much nutrient value has gone down. Yeah. When we talk of poor infrastructure, this basically means the quality of the roads that connect our shambas to our market areas. Sometimes the roads are not 100% okay. So this can get to compromise on easy transportation of some foods. And definitely you find our crops are perishable, the crops that we grow. So when there is a bit of delay in the transportation area, you find that, by the time it's getting to the market or one is getting to buy, the nutrient value has been able to reduce. Then, of course, there's the mishandling of food items by transporters and vendors. Then again, our foods are perishable. So if they're not handled with care, it can compromise on the value of what we get to consume at the end of the day. Then poor hygiene conditions, yeah, possibly those people who handle the foods hygiene wise they may not be at 100, some, not all, definitely. And then talking of the markets, the major markets where a lot of our foodstuffs are sold, you find sometimes the market areas are not 100% hygienic. It's common, unfortunately, it's common to find sometimes sewage imepita tu karibu na maybe duka ya mtu hapo, yeah, which is very unfortunate. And then there is the method of preparation of the food, yeah. Sometimes we may tend to overcook the food. When we overcook the food, the nutrient value gets to reduce. Also, when you undercook the food, sometimes the safety of the food may not be at 100% because it may lead to infections and all that. Yeah. So I hope we are getting value so far. You can drop me a number 1 on the chat box as I continue on. Other factors include exposure to toxic chemicals, yeah, and this can be as a result of many things, possibly taking a lot of processed food, also maybe the work conditions you're at, yeah. There's a lot of fumes you're exposed to, maybe kama ni manufacturing industries and all that. Not forgetting the fact that for some people they've used medication for a long period of time. So all that chemical accumulation has had an effect on general wellness. Then we talk also of sedentary lifestyle, whereby you find a lot of people are not as active as they should. Yeah, take an example of somebody who possibly they have a car, they drive to work. Their line of work involves sitting down the whole day at an office. Then from work, they just go straight at home, wako na gari, so they drive themselves at home. You find the activity levels of that person may be low. And definitely you can guess that that person where they're seated, they're hawakai nja, of course they are eating. So they're consuming a lot, but they're not burning calories as such. And so you find over a long period of time, such a person is exposed to issues such as obesity and the likes. Yeah. Then there is the wrong perception towards specific foods, and this varies from generation to generation. You may find for the advanced generation, possibly they value organic food more as compared to the most recent generation. Take an example of ngwashi. If you give ngwashi to somebody who is of an advanced generation, it's different from giving somebody who is a Gen Z or Alpha. Yeah, I'm sure you can get to understand what I mean. And then daily stressful conditions. Yeah, life's pressures can make one be stressed, which of course, when you're stressed, Pia, it leads to hormonal imbalance issues, which eventually affects health. Yeah. And on your screen, this is just an image to paint a picture of just some of the things I've been able to share. Unaona pale kwa shamba, there's the exposure to chemicals, the transportation, we've said sometimes poor infrastructure, mishandling of foods by transporters or maybe even vendors, storage in very low temperatures, which can compromise on the nutrient value of the foods, cooking, overcooking or undercooking, and all that. Yeah. So now let's talk about some of the effects that are associated with the challenges that I've mentioned. Now, because of those challenges, one can experience excessive toxicity of the digestive system, and this can be as a result of consumption of chemicals present in the food taken in as the processed food, or even you find some foods, especially those bought over the counter, they have preservatives which are not as healthy. Yeah. Then there is the rise of lifestyle diseases because of the sedentary lifestyle many have been accustomed to. Like I've mentioned, the sedentary lifestyle can bring about issues related with obesity and the likes. And of course, with obesity now, issues to do with high blood pressure, diabetes can come about. And then we've talked of nutritional gaps that come with, minimal to no consumption of the daily required quantity of nutrients for optimal body function. Now, nutritional gaps can be because of different factors. Availability of some foods in some areas. Like, for example, the way maybe in Nairobi you have easy access to vegetables may not be the same with somebody in an arid area, or even sometimes even affordability. Yeah. Also, another thing that can cause nutritional gaps, one who does not supplement, maybe because of ignorance or lack of awareness. Yeah. Okay, and unfortunately, you find that, people are fed by the food industry, which pays little to no attention to health, and are treated by the health industry, which pays no attention to food. So the solution is taking charge of our health and just looking at those things that we can be able to fix in order to ensure that we are on the right track when it comes to maintaining on our general wellness. So just to discuss some of the solutions that are there that can help us improve on general wellness. Of course, doing a regular cleanse. This is a must. Yeah. At the end of the day, we are living in a chemical age. We are exposed to a lot of chemicals and toxins from what we consume, whether we like it or not, from the air we breathe, the water we take, the food we consume, and many other factors. So doing a cleanse helps the body to get rid of toxins that could be burdening the body and that could be making the body not to function optimally. And as we continue on, I'll share recommendations that can help adapting to an active lifestyle, especially if you've noted maybe for you, you're having a sedentary lifestyle and you'd want to change that. It's really, really important. Taking time to rest and unwind is really important, yeah, especially when it comes to managing stress levels, because every time you're on the go, each and every time you don't have time to kutulia, it can definitely it's not good for your health, simply put. Then consuming 8 glasses of water a day or more, depending on actually your weight. Yeah, the more you weigh, the more you need to consume. That is in regards to water. So water will keep you hydrated, and of course, when you're well hydrated, also the body is able to function optimally. Being mindful of how you prepare foods, yeah. Preparation of foods such as grains cannot be the same as preparation of foods such as maybe meat, because grains just need little heat and iko sawa. If you overcook grains, nutrients nazo zimeenda. Yeah, so being mindful is really key. Also, identifying stress triggers, really important, and controlling them. If you find, for example, when you're stressed, maybe what you do to comfort yourself is binge eating, like unakula sana, just find a different way you can be able to cope with that, yeah? Instead of having to resort to things that will bring you more harm than good, like, for example, excessive drinking, smoking, eating a lot, find better ways you can be able to cope with your stress. Maybe talking to somebody, going for therapy, or, whatever you can do to ensure that your stress levels are well managed. And then supplementation, which is really, really key because of the current age we are living in. Now, supplementing is not a luxury, it's a necessity. This is a necessity because for a fact, we cannot say that the times we're living in as are the same as the times that maybe our great grandparents used to live. Yeah. And I've been able to cover some of the challenges we are facing. Yeah. And you can bet some of the challenges we are currently facing were not the same as before. So if the challenges are more, then we need to have better ways of uh, managing and ensuring that our health is very at the top rather. Yes. So just to cover a bit on what supplementing is about, in any case you've never heard of supplementation, it's the use of supplements to bridge nutritional gaps. Yeah. Nutritional gaps are basically the difference between what you need to consume for optimal wellness and what you actually consume. So that gap is bridged when you get to supplement. And supplements include vitamins, nutrients, and minerals that are natural based. This ensure that you get all the sufficient nutrients needed for optimal body functioning. Yeah. Yes, and depending on, of course, different functions, you may find that, for example, if it's joint care related, the supplements you take would be a bit different from something that is immunity related. Yeah, so it's important also to get to know the exact concern you're working on to be able to get the right supplement to be able to help with the issue you're having. Now, supplements are not medication, so they don't intend to cure, they promote feelings of wellness. So, this is to say that even when you're healthy, you can get to supplement just to maintain on wellness and to provide the body with the necessary nutrients for optimal function. In any case, maybe you're sick and you're under medication, you can still get to use supplements because supplements will work hand in hand with what you're using to ensure that the recovery process is sped up. Yeah, or rather the vitamins and nutrients needed for optimal body function are provided into the body. You don't need to depend on supplements for life kwa sababu sio dawa, but still in the same breath you can take them regularly just to maintain on your wellness. Yeah. And they have no side effects because they are natural based. Yeah. Yes, so I hope we're getting value. You can drop me a number 2 if we are. So there are many distributors of supplements in the market. Possibly as a guest, you've come across many different supplements in the market. Maybe if you go to healthy shops, you see a wide range of different things that one can get to use. But with Forever, the difference goes beyond the label. Yeah, the company is focused on purity, passion, and proven results. Yeah, results is the name of the game at the end of the day. Yeah. So we have our own aloe farms, which the company sources its crop from, especially in the making of some of the products, in particular the aloe vera gel, amongst many others. And our products are crafted with care and backed by nature and science. So it's not enough for a product to just be natural. It needs to have the support of science to ensure that you who is using, you get the benefits that are required for you to be gotten. Yeah. These aren't just supplements, they're powerful natural solutions that help to nourish the body from the inside out and also deliver on the results. Yeah. So for the results bit, you getting to use is a plus because definitely you'll get to experience results. Also, for the person who gets to recommend the products to you, one key thing to know is that they've gotten to use the product. So even as they're sharing, as they're recommending solutions that you can get to use, they're recommending from experience. Yes, so some of the reasons to try Forever Living products, there are quite a number. So just to mention the key ones, they cover core nutrition by providing the body with the nutrients, vitamins needed for optimal wellness. The products are meant to benefit everybody's system. These are products that are natural based, but they are supported by science because we have a scientific advisory council which ensures that our products go through tests to ensure that they're of high quality for you as the end consumer. So the different ranges we have include immunity support. There are products to help in digestive health. We have products to help to combat signs of aging, products to help with dental health and hygiene, healthy weight support, bodybuilding in any case you're interested in weight gain the right way, multiminerals, multivitamins to bridge any nutritional gaps. And then we talk of products to help to boost energy levels, products related with skincare, which help to soothe the skin, yeah, and are gentle on the skin. We're talking of the company being an industry leader when it comes to production of aloe-based products, yeah. And of course, there are other opportunities you can get to enjoy besides the benefit of health. Okay, so who is Forever? Forever is an American-based company. It was founded in 1978, and it's a global company currently operating in over 160 countries worldwide. Actually, this year we were celebrating 48 years of the company being in existence. So anytime you get a product from the company to get to use for your own benefit, you're using world-class products that have benefited people from all across the globe. Yeah. And then talking of vertical integration basically means that the company hires no middlemen. It takes care of everything from the planting of the main crop used in the making of the product to the harvesting. Yeah. And in the harvesting bit, the most mature aloes are harvested to ensure that you get maximum value nutritional wise. Planting, harvesting, manufacturing, all the way to the end consumer. Vertical integration ensures that the products are not interfered with, the making of the products, and that the quality of the products remain at an all-time high. Yeah. Yes, and also vertical integration ensures that we have steady pricing of the products, that they don't get to fluctuate as such. Okay, so as I head towards finishing, it's important to get to know what good health is dependent on, and there are three major factors that get to determine good health. First and foremost, good absorption. This is the process by which nutrients are taken in through physical action. Of course, this happens in the gut system, in the intestinal region. We have good circulation. This is the movement of blood from one organ to another, and also good nutrification, which is the process of providing nutrients to the body. So just to break down each of these factors, yeah. So when we talk of absorption, yeah, you may find that there's those problems which can limit good absorption of nutrients from the food that we take. One of the key ones is accumulation of excessive toxins in our system. And we've been able to discuss in the previous slides the sources of these toxins. Yeah, they can come from what we consume. Sometimes the food we take, especially if it's processed food, contaminated water, contaminated air, using of medication over time, smoking, drinking, all these are sources of toxins. And what can get to show that absorption is an issue? What are those symptoms that you can look at and you see, hapa kidogo I need to work on my absorption, yeah, improving my absorption in the gut system. Rise of lifestyle conditions, especially digestive related issues, gas, bloating, heartburn, constipation. Those are signs that you need to work on your digestive health. Weight gain also becomes an issue, by the way, because, weight gain is dependent on how nutrients are taken up in the gut system. So if absorption does not happen optimally, you may find weight gain also becomes an issue no matter how healthy you eat. And also skin issues, because the outside skin is usually a reflection of how the gut is. Yeah. So what can we do to ensure that we improve on our absorption? There's supplements that can help to improve this. And at Forever Living, we usually have a digestive health care pack that works to help. Now, the digestive care range comprises of different products, not only the two that you can see there, but the two are part of the many other products that we have. So, for the digestive care kit, how does it work? Firstly, it works to eliminate the presence of abnormal tissues that grow because of an unhealthy intestinal environment. If the intestinal area is not healthy, unapata kuna hizo vitu ambavyo vinapata kugrow. Yeah, so by taking the kit, it helps to remove that. Besides that, also it works to remove any old fecal matter and waste from the colon. This is toxins that have accumulated for a period of time. So you'll notice as you get to do a cleanse, in that process, you get to visit the washroom regularly. This is normal kwa sababu hiyo uchafu unapata kutoka. Also, by getting to use the digestive care kit, you'll help the body eliminate all of the heavy residue and excessive drugs that have accumulated in the body. Like I've mentioned, prolonged use of medication can lead to toxicity in the system. So by getting to do a cleanse, it helps in that. Also, the digestive care kit helps to strengthen the lining of the stomach and hence accelerate healing. Sometimes you may find because of severe digestive issues, one has developed issues related with ulcers and all that, which is damage on the stomach lining. So there's the need of repairing so that things go back to the way they were initially. And also works to help to eliminate the growth of bad bacteria by killing the bad bacteria that may tend to grow. And for this, there is a product called the garlic thyme, which is part of the pack that works to help in that. Also, we talk of the kit helping in the regeneration of cells in the gut. Yeah, pretty much linked to healing of the gut lining, and also encouraging the existence of proper gut bacteria. Yeah, always for good gut health, the good bacteria needs to be higher than the bad bacteria. The colony of the good bacteria always has to be at an all-time high. So probiotics help to ensure that is ticked. Yeah. Yes. So moving on to now talking of circulation. Now, of course, circulation is the movement of blood all across the body. So problems that can limit good blood circulation, constricted blood vessels. This basically means the blood vessels imefinyika sana, yani damu kupita inakuwa a bit of an issue. Yeah, the inability of the body to produce essential omega-3, and that's why now supplementing comes in to ensure that you're getting omega-3 from what you're using. And in this case, I'll get to share a recommendation of what one can use. And then also high cholesterol levels, because high cholesterol levels tend to block the blood vessels and limit good blood flow. So what are the source of problems of all that we've talked about? Obesity issues. Definitely, if you're overweight, this can lead to blood vessels not being as healthy, especially because of hiyo kukua constricted. Tumbo ni kubwa sasa inafanya zile blood vessels zinafinyika, especially around the vital organs such as the heart. Yeah. Eating a lot of junk food saturated with unhealthy oils, definitely this contributes to bad cholesterol, a rise of bad cholesterol. Then stressful conditions as well, yeah. And some of the things that can get to show that kidogo blood circulation is not at optimal, vision issues, because then again, our eyes depend on good, sufficient blood flow to the eye area, because the blood comes with oxygen and the nutrients needed to replenish the eyes. Yeah. High blood pressure issues also can get to come up in case circulation is not at optimal, and also memory fog, because then again our brain is dependent on good blood flow to the brain area, because with blood comes sufficient oxygen as well as nutrients. Yeah. So what can get to help when we talk of improving on circulation? The pack that you can get to see on your screen. So this is a combination of Agi Plus, which we shall be getting very soon. We have the garlic thyme and the Arctic sea. So when we talk of Argiplus, this contains a miracle molecule called L-arginine. It helps to boost nitric acid production, and it's best to help to support healthy blood pressure levels. It relaxes the blood vessels so that the blood vessels open up and blood flow equals sour, and also relaxes the arteries and veins. Yeah. And also enables them to open up vizuri ili ile damu iweze kupita vizuri. When we talk of Arctic sea, now this is a source of omega-3, yeah, to provide a healthy balance of cholesterol. How it works is, of course, it gets rid of the bad cholesterol that could be blocking the blood vessels in order to ensure that blood flows at normal pressure levels instead of very high pressure levels. When you talk of garlic thyme, it mostly helps to thin the blood, especially kama kidogo the blood has a lot of toxins that have accumulated in it. Garlic thyme does help to ensure that the blood is viscous enough to pass through the blood vessels kwa urahisi. Yeah. Also, it supports cardiovascular health. Okay. So hope you're getting value. Lastly, as I finish off, we talk of nutrification. Yeah. So nutrification, as I had shared earlier, it's the process of taking up nutrients from what one consumes. So problems that can affect this is nutritional gaps, not providing the body with the necessary nutrients for optimal wellness. And we discussed some of the things that can lead to this: poor lifestyle habits, taking an imbalanced diet, taking foods that are not as nutrient rich as they should, not supplementing as well can lead to gaps when it comes to nutrition. And some of the evidence, or rather those things that you can look out for to know that kidogo pale kwa nutrification it's not okay, is low immunity levels, because then immunity depends on a high level of vitamin C to ensure that you're able to fight off infections and viruses and all that. Malnutrition, yeah, evidenced by nutritional deficiency diseases, yeah, and also a few things here and there, because also when it comes to general wellness, because of the different aspects such as joint care, brain health, and all that, there are those things that you look out for to get to know that kidogo there's some nutrients and some vitamins and some minerals that one is lacking, that one needs to get a proper supply of to ensure that issues don't advance. Yeah. So when we talk of supplements that can help to improve on nutrification, these are not the only ones. These are few among the many that we have. Yeah. And like I've mentioned, the different supplements that you decide to use will be entirely dependent on what you'd want to achieve. So we have vitamin C, we have Forever Daily. This is one of our key products that has a combination of a lot of vitamins, nutrients, and minerals for optimal wellness. But besides this, also we have many others that are available to be able to help in this. We have products rich in calcium. We have products that are rich in omega, yeah, some which are rich in vegetables such as the fields of green, just to help to bridge the nutritional gaps we have amongst many others. Okay, so as I finish off, there's this quote that I'm sure most of us have heard of, from Hippocrates. He says, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." If we get to focus on eating proper balanced diets, this will greatly help. Of course, amongst many other things that we can get to do to ensure that our health is optimal. And also, supplementing plays a part in this, because like I've mentioned, supplements sio kutumia dawa. It's basically taking food in tablet form to be able to bridge any nutritional gaps that might be there. Yes, so with that, I've come to the end of my session. I hope we've been able to get maximum value from what I've been able to share. So the key thing now going forward would be to implement, yeah. In any case, maybe for you, you feel you need to do a few changes in what you've been doing before, this is the right time. In any case, you feel, you'd want to get to lose weight, get to work on that. In any case, you feel, what, I've not been supplementing, and that would be a good add-on to what I'm doing. Go for it. In any case, maybe you feel in terms of your lifestyle, you've not been as active, you can get to change that. And for the guests, in any case, you may want further guidance on how to go about that effectively. Of course, the person who invited you for this session will be able to guide further on how you can go about that. So thank you so much for your time. Wishing all of us a very good night. I don't know whether they be any questions, especially from the guests, but if not, I think we can call it a wrap for tonight. Yes. So any question? Let me just check the chat box. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions. I don't know whether Emmanuel is in a position to close the meeting, but if not, allow me to end the meeting there. See you at the top. See you at the top, and see you at the counters of our product center, buying products for your own well-being. Yes, thank you.